Well, welcome everyone, and Happy New Year. It's 2020, y'all. We made it. Woo! Welcome to Respect My Crown, the podcast.
Yes.
Respect My Crown encourages women to deepen in spirituality, sisterhood, accountability, and service. We know that right now is the time to manifest our vision and to accomplish our goals.
Yes.
And we just leaving 2019 where it is.
Yes.
And moving forward in 2020. And so this is my very first time ever doing a live podcast.
Wow. How
So I
exciting.
am super excited. We are here in Vegan Bay Studios, so it only makes sense to have Be veganISH in the studio to interview
Yes.
LaTara Jeffers. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am amazing. Can we talk about the name first?
veganISH.
veganISH, because I was thinking, it means like you might be kind of vegan, or or are you like really full blown vegan?
Okay, so initially when I created the name, I noticed when people hear the word vegan, they get a little intimidated.
Yeah.
So creating my company, my audience isn't necessarily vegans. It's people who are kind of in that gray area. So our motto is intention, not perfection. So I try to cater to the people who don't really know, but they want to change, or they have health issues, or they're just not ready to go all the way. So they call me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the health
Yeah.
issues, because some of the people that I know that are vegans became vegans because of the health issues that they've experienced. So I know for you, from teenager into adulthood,
Yes.
you've been in and out of the hospital. What was going on that caused you to say, I have to make this huge change in my life?
So I was a science project.
You were a science project.
I was.
What is that?
I've been sick. I was sick most of, I would say, high school through my 20s.
Yeah.
I had all these health issues, and I had all these doctors, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me. They said I had immune deficiencies. I was on every medication. I had in and out of the hospital, emergency room regularly.
Wow.
And finally, I hit my breaking point, and I was like, I need to make a change. So I went to a holistic doctor. She told me to go vegan. I was totally against it, being a chef and eating. I love wings. I love pizza. I love nachos, and tacos are life. So I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
Then finally, I was just over it. I said it one day, and I was like, this is it. We're just going to do it.
Yeah.
And it literally saved my life. I got off all my medication in 4 months, and I went back to the doctor, and he called in all the doctors because they couldn't believe my blood work.
Wow.
It's like I literally healed myself through food.
Gosh.
So it became I documented my journey, and people became interested.
Yeah.
So that's how veganISH was born.
I love it.
Yes.
Gosh. How many people here are vegans? Okay. There's a few people up here. Okay. How many people here want to be vegan or vegetarian? Okay, there we go. We got a lot more hands.
Okay.
Well, that's good. So then I feel like there's an opportunity for us to give some really good information today, because you're right. I know there are some people who are probably tuning in who are on the fence. I've been that way too, because I was pescatarian for 2 years.
Yes.
And I noticed the change in my body and how I felt. But I was too scared to keep going.
It can be intimidating, especially if you. I learned through the process that if you don't have a support system, it feels impossible.
Yeah.
So I was blessed to have family and friends who are like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So it's it was a community thing. So it was easier for me.
Well, tell me this. What was your relationship with food growing up?
Well, growing up, my mom cooked all the time, pretty healthy.
Yeah.
So I grew up in California, so I ate a lot of Mexican food.
Oh, wow.
And I was an athlete, so I never really cared. I just ate.
Yeah.
And the older I got, I guess I ate worse. Like when I went to college, more queso.
Yeah, right. Like
more wings, more pizza.
everything that's fast and easy.
Fast and fat and
Yeah.
oily and just bad.
Yeah.
And the worse I ate, the sicker I got.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. What do
Yeah.
you think are some of the myths people have about becoming vegan?
That I just eat salad, and I haven't had a salad in like 2 weeks. So that's not a thing. There's so many other things to eat. People just think we just eat green beans and lettuce. And there are chunky vegans. We eat more than green beans and lettuce.
Yeah.
So.
I remember interviewing Erykah Badu, And we actually talked about that. I was like, Erica, you know, and Erica Badu is one of the celebrities we probably hear about most that we know are vegan. But I remember when she was telling me, you know, you can still be thick and be a vegan.
This is true.
And so she was telling me about how she eats, you know, a lot of potatoes and
a lot of
you know,
carbs, a lot of
She's still
bread,
eating a lot of carbs. But and then there's a difference between a healthy vegan, right?
Yes.
And a not so healthy vegan.
Yes, because you can. A lot of people when they first become plant-based, they don't know what to eat, so they eat a lot of French fries, a lot of rice, a lot of potato chips, a lot of bread, because you don't know yet. You kind of have to educate yourself on how to cook food.
Yeah.
You have to retrain your whole mind because you're eating everything opposite from probably what you grew up eating.
So how does the training begin? Like, what were the steps that you first took?
So for me, it was a little bit easier because I've been a chef for 12 years. So I've worked with a lot of athletes. So I kind of experimented on them.
Oh.
I would make their favorite food, but vegan versions. And if they couldn't figure out it was vegan, then I knew that was a good recipe. So I had some clients who were like, I'm losing weight and I feel so good. I'm amazing. And I'm like, you've been vegan for 3 months. I just didn't tell you. So that's kind of
That's how I needed to happen to me. Can you trick me?
Yeah, that's how I practiced.
Wow.
So I would just make things I like to eat, but a vegan version.
Wow.
So I just experimented. That's it, really.
And you just eased into it.
And I started making, I used to do meal prep, but when I went to plant-based, people who were on the journey with me were like, well, what do we eat? Yeah. So I said, well, I'll start doing vegan meal prep. And I was only going to do it for 2 months. And here we are 2 years later.
Wow.
And because it became a lot more popular than I ever anticipated.
I think that is one of the reasons why it may be difficult for people to make that change is because it seems very hard to do. It seems like I'm going to really have to put in some work to do this because some people's lifestyles like mine, I travel a lot. I'm busy all the time. So going someplace and grabbing something is just the easiest thing. And then it's like, well, shoot, what options do I have?
You have to plan, because it becomes a situation to where it's actually easier to make vegan food because it's really just ingredients as opposed to, you know, anyone can make beans, rice, and green beans. But it's about spicing it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's planning. If you don't plan, it's easier to mess up, but you have to really plan your meals out.
So talk to me about some of your favorite foods that you had to give up, right?
Okay.
And like, how was it? Were you craving those foods or did you find substitutes?
So I thought wings were going to be the hardest. So let me tell you a true story. I was like maybe 3 months in. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to have some wings. Let me tell you, I was sick, throwing up, everything for 2 days. It was not, I ain't never eating wings again. It was traumatizing. Because when you clean out your body like that, and then you try to go back, your body will reject it, and you will be sick. So, I thought dairy was going to be the hardest because I put queso on everything. But someone sent me a video that grossed me out, and I haven't had dairy in 2 years.
What did they send you? What was it?
I'll send it to you, girl.
Oh gosh.
It traumatized
now I'm
me.
scared.
It was so nasty.
Well, you know, we see so many documentaries now. I mean, anybody who has Netflix, right, has seen like What the Health and all of these other documentaries. And, you know, I can admit that watching some of the documentaries, it'll hit you really hard. But then it's like, you know, 3 days later, I'm like, yep, so about that Wendy's burger or whatever, you know. And how do we get people to really take it seriously? Like, it seems like no one is going to make that move until something happens that hits close to home. Like, it's a relative that gets sick and it's like, all right, well, now that, you know, my aunt is suffering from cancer and she has to make a change, I'm down with, you know, joining the squad and everyone's going to, you know. So
it's, okay. I'm kind of hardcore about how I preach about this. So I always go the health avenue. So for me, I tell people that they need to love themselves more than they love food. So when you eat just whatever, to me, that's kind of a form of abuse because it's selfish because more than likely you're going to get sick, which means someone in your life is going to have to alter their life to take care of you. So eating what you want your whole life is a selfish thing to do. and everyone knows somebody who has died from heart problems, high blood pressure, diabetes. It's common, cancer, just everything. And 90% of the time, it's off of the food we eat. All these things can be fixed.
Yeah.
So it's really a conscious decision. Like you have to just decide one day, because what you eat today isn't going to really affect tomorrow. It's going to affect 10 years from now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it's too late, but you could have prevented it.
Yeah. We got to do better.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so much to learn. Like, I was just having this conversation with my friend Monique, and we were talking about bananas. And she's like, you know, the GMOs. And like, I'm just like, dang, you got to read like a whole Encyclopedia Britannica to try to understand like what's going on with the food, because there's so much that we don't know. And especially in our culture. So where do we go to get educated, you know?
Yeah, it's tough because there's so much false education. So it's tough. It really is. I know I happen to know a lot of holistic doctors and hang out with people. So it's one of those things. I just ask questions. And I guess it's one of those things where you can just research or follow. There's so many podcasts out now, and there's not one avenue to learn.
Yeah, and people can follow you.
They can follow me.
You have some really good information. I'm going to tell you guys the very first post that I saw, LaTara post, it was on poop. And I'm serious. And I was so fascinated with this post. And I'm like, it was one of those where she had like these different pictures, animated pictures. They weren't real pictures of poop, but like different pictures of poop. And what does the poop look like? And what is it telling you about your body? And I was like, wow. I was like, no, my poop didn't look like that. But now I'm looking for pictures of what my poop looks like so I can understand, like, this is some serious, I mean, but this is real.
It's real.
And she posts this information, which is really good information. I'm not seeing anybody else posting it because most people on Instagram trying to front anyway. So, you know, it's like, oh. And how would I know if I didn't, you know, come across this page? But it made me take a deeper look. So now, me and my boyfriend, we have conversations about poop all the time. And
my house too. My house too.
I'm like, so what? I mean, tell me more.
It's like, what color was your pee today? You didn't have enough water.
These are conversations that we should have. And now I'm seeing like how important it is for us to have these same conversations with our family.
Yes.
So, you know, we go to Big Mama's house for Thanksgiving. Big Mama is not going to cook them greens without fatback. All right? She is like, you can't tell her. And then when I do try to tell Big Mama, you know that you can just use, you know, something else. You know, like, let's at least start with this, right?
Right.
Smoked turkey. All right? Like, this.
Just work our way.
There. But it's like, how do you change that? Because it's this huge, you know, we are learning our food from our family, right? We're learning how to cook. We're learning how, you know, to feed our families. It's generational.
It's generational for sure. It's a process. That's the only thing I can say. You have to, for my family especially, because my mom and dad were actually a little bit easier than some of my other family. Yeah. But it's just, you make stuff. If it's good, it's good. Who cares? They're not going to ask you what was. People come over. I make vegan food. 90% of the time, they don't know, and I tell them, "Oh, I'm glad you're done, but that was vegan." Like, I tell them when they're done. Yeah. So if it's
that's
good,
a good way to do that. I did that with my daughter. Like, she loves hot dogs, and I had some vegan hot dog. And I was like, that didn't even have meat in it. Got him. Right. Got him. I went to a friend of mine, Danielle and Devon, invited me over to their house for Thanksgiving. It was 2 years ago. And they're vegan. And as soon as they invited me, I was like, oh, the vegans are inviting me over. And so, so they try to sell you on this, right? Yes. They're like, yo, listen, it's gonna be good. And I'm like, all right. And so I got there, and I will never forget. They had a sweet potato casserole, and I was like, ain't no dairy, no nothing in there, like no girl, no. Okay. And then they had macaroni and cheese, and I was like, you can't tell me that ain't got some cheese in it. And they're like, no, it's like cashew cheese or something. And, you know, they had greens and all this other stuff. And I was like, this really wasn't.
You didn't miss anything.
I didn't miss anything. I was full and stuffed, and it felt really good.
It's mental. It's mental. We trick ourselves into thinking we have to have meat with every meal, which I don't know where that comes from, but you don't.
Yeah.
We think we have to have cheese. We don't.
Yeah.
So it's mental. When you have come up in your mind, you can go to the store and be like, you know what? I want to just use this area of the store to shop in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, your grocery bill might be cheaper.
Yeah.
As long as you're staying away from the processed vegan. If you're doing processed vegan food, it's still going to be
okay.
bad.
So tell me what the difference is.
So like Beyond Burgers, that's processed, as opposed to just buying vegetables, beans, lentils. That's not.
And smushing it all together and making your own burger?
You ever had a black bean burger before?
I have.
Did you like it?
I did.
Okay. Then why you make
It
that
didn't
face?
taste like, but it didn't taste like a meaty burger.
But it's not supposed to. It's black beans.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's supposed to taste like a black
Are you
bean.
one of those judgmental vegans?
It depends on who I'm with. It's very circumstantial.
it's
very
I'm
circumstantial.
glad I asked that. I had to ask that because, I have some of my friends that really don't care. They'll be like, go ahead, pour the ham on there. And then
Pour the ham on
there are some of my vegan friends that are like, well, I mean, if you want to just, live until next week, then go ahead. I mean, if you don't eat it, just eat it. But, just know it has rat poisoning in it.
I find I'm more judgmental with the people I care about the most.
Yeah.
Because you want them to be healthy. I was sick long enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like, you already know what I went through. Why would you want to eat that?
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, yeah.
So I come from a different perspective.
Right.
So it just depends.
And you're going to be more passionate
100%.
about it because you have that personal experience of what it's done for you.
Right.
I went to a party, dinner party with a woman here who is also a chef.
Yes.
And she was telling the story of how she had cancer. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, hey, you have cancer, and we want to start you on chemo. She was like, not going to do it. She went and changed her lifestyle. She went vegetarian. And while there wasn't as much cancer showing up, she still had it. They were like, we still need to get you on this chemo. You need to do it. And they were like, no. She's like, no, not going to do it. And so she went raw foodist, right?
Yes.
Raw foodist is you not go cook all your food.
It's all plants.
It's all plants.
Yes.
And some of it's cold.
Uh-huh.
And so she made this whole meal that was it was incredible, and it was like
It's pretty
butternut
too, right?
squash. It was pretty.
All the colors.
She had some type of pecan pie. I was like, what? And I mean, it's an adjustment. You're right. It's going to take you some time to maybe get used to some certain things.
Right.
But it's almost like just starting a habit. It's like
It's
once
a
you
new
get
habit.
rolling, you can do it.
That's exactly what it is.
So you make meal prep for
I
people.
do vegan milk. Yes, I do. My food is good too.
Is it?
It's real good.
Do you have some here?
No,
You ain't bringing none for nobody?
no, it's not a thing. I don't just have food on hand. It's definitely not a thing.
Let me pop my trunk real quick. I got some for you.
No, don't do that.
So what kind of things do you have? Because this is what I'm thinking. When I
Okay.
think of a vegan meal prep, I'm scared because I'm thinking maybe the food isn't going to last that long. Can I buy it for the whole week? Because we know when people meal prep, you meal prep for the whole week.
Right.
So how does it work?
It's the same. I make everything from lasagna to chili
What?
to, and my lasagna is bomb.
Really? Everybody in the audience, if you can see their face right now, they're like, show right.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
I'm telling you, it's mental. If I brought you a food right now, you would not know. And you would feel better. You wouldn't feel stuffed.
Yeah.
You would just feel satisfied.
Okay. I really want to do this for like a month.
You can do it.
I really do. And I have some people who follow me on Instagram who are down to do this challenge.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if there's any other people.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna start calling
most
some
people
people
in
out.
here. A lot of people in here actually order my food.
Oh, so you're just saying I'm the only one who
just
has
saying.
it? You trying to say I'm late?
I'm just saying.
I'm late. Okay.
It is a new year, new you.
Right.
Get with it.
So I live with a condition called vitiligo, which is an autoimmune
Yes.
deficiency, right? And so I was reading this article just the other day about a woman who went vegan and her skin pigment came back. And I was like, and it's not that I'm bothered by it because I'm fine with it, but I almost just want to see, like, would it happen? You know what I mean?
Let's do it. Let's document it. Let's do it. We have to do it now. Look, you're on live. You have to do it. Tell the people. You got to do it now.
We're going to do it.
Because, listen, I'm interested. Now we have to do it.
I know, because I really want to see, because our bodies are just so complex. And I believe there's just so much healing, that can happen.
Food is medicine.
And I know that everyone's bodies are different, though. You know what I mean?
true,
Like, I've seen people who are vegans who have bad allergies. I've seen people who went vegan and all their allergies went away. You know what I mean? So but you don't know unless you
try it.
You give it a try. How, I know some people who may be listening are like, I'm concerned about the protein. Like, what?
That's not a thing. Where does a cow get its protein from?
All that stuff he be eating out there in the field.
Which is lettuce. They're not adding extra protein in the cow.
Right.
So skip the middleman and eat your lettuce. That's
Just
it.
eat the lettuce.
That's it.
Eat the lettuce.
There's never a thing like you don't go to the doctor and say I'm protein deficient. Like no one says that.
Yeah.
I don't know who. There's this magical fairy that thinks that we need to have 80 million grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
It's not true. It's not true.
Wow.
Protein is in pretty much everything you eat.
Yeah. There are so many celebrities who are vegan. Like, I didn't know Forrest Whitaker was vegan. Did y'all know that?
Oh,
yeah,
I did.
Some people are like, yeah, I did. He's my friend. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Shoot, half the cast of Game of Thrones, if anybody's in Game of Thrones, they're he's a little person. What's his name? Peter. What's his name? Dinklage. Right. He's a vegan, and then his homeboy in the y'all. Let me not talk about Game of Thrones, but I'll be here all day. I'll talk to y'all later. So we can talk Game of Thrones. But I was just looking at like so many different celebrities that are vegan. When I was living in Atlanta, and I learned about Andre 3000, who I've always had a crush on, and then my friends were like, he's vegan though, and you're not. And I was like, oh, I can be vegan. And I tried it for 2 days, and that was in college. It didn't work. So he's still my crush though. We'll see what happens.
I think you can do it. I actually have a UFC fighter that I cook for right now. He's vegan. And he's in the best weight of his life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of athletes I actually cook for who are vegan. And they're strong. People brainwash you into thinking that you need meat. That's not the case.
This is so good. If you're just tuning in, this is the Respect My Crown podcast, and we're talking to LaTara Jeffers.
Hey, y'all.
She put some amazing information out on Instagram, so be sure to follow her. It's veganISH.
Yes.
And then you have this new space here that's incredible, and there are so many different, you and all your friends, all your vegan friends.
Listen, my crew,
your
my
squad.
business partners.
Yes.
Listen, that's Anthony and Dominique. That is my team. So listen, I'll tell you a true story. Dominique's vegan.
Okay.
She's vegan for the animals. We went vegan for 2 different reasons. She's amazing. Her story's great. You should interview her one day.
Yeah.
Anthony we're working on him, bless his heart. He's veganish.
Okay.
He's vegan when he's with us. And we're together a lot. So he's vegan most of the time.
That's good.
By default.
And he created this studio.
Him and Dominique did it together. Isn't it beautiful?
This is so incredible.
Yes.
It's a vegan studio. And so here you have all of these products with natural wood.
Yes. Look at that. Even did this piece by piece.
This is fine. It's expensive.
Listen. Book the studio. We open 7 days a week. 24 hours a day. Yes. Get your time slot.
Book it today.
veganbaystudios.com.
I love it. Is there something that you feel you want to really get across to people about becoming vegan? Maybe there are some people, because it's the beginning of the year, you have a lot of people who are like, no, me this year I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, what is
so for
what can
me
you
it's
tell
not
them?
my brand is not to turn necessarily people vegan. I want to educate people on how food heals or hurts your body.
Yeah.
And most of the time, healing your body is through a plant-based diet. So I like to help people, kind of guide them through the process, as opposed to saying, if you don't go vegan, you're going to die. Like, that's not the approach I like to use. It's more of a be vegan-ish. So be vegan Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
To get acclimated and then eat what you want on the weekend, and then that's when I brainwash you, because you're going to be sick on the weekend and you're going to come back.
Oh, you got sick. I wonder why.
I'm telling you have to. It's a process. It's not you're gonna mess up. Yeah. You're probably gonna hate it the first week. You're gonna be tired. Your head's gonna it's not this perfect world with butterflies, and it's a process. And if you think that it's gonna be easy, there's probably like a small percentage of people. Like for me, it was easy because it was a life or death situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just kind of did it. Yeah. But for most people, that's not the case.
What is your ultimate vegan food? What's the thing that you're like, I can't live without this?
Oh, which one? Nachos.
Nachos.
We eat burgers. Yes. What else do we eat a lot of? Tacos.
So everything that you still ate when you were in college, but now
sandwiches,
you just eat vegan.
Chicken, the buffalo chicken, that's Anthony's favorite.
So wait, but you said chicken.
Chicken with a K, just no C.
Oh! I see.
Chicken.
He's like, it's good too.
No, that's his favorite.
Yeah.
Because he has his favorite. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
There's a lot of things. I mean, you can eat what you want still. Like, what's your favorite food right now that you think that you could not give up?
I like chili.
Have you had my chili?
I haven't had your chili.
Listen, y'all tell her
and until
about
I
my
do,
chili.
I don't know. I just don't know.
I got you sold then. If that's all it takes, she's vegan tomorrow.
And then I like, like pastry, like not pastries, but like, cakes and stuff.
There's a lot of vegan pastry chefs in Houston. There's a lot. You can. There's nothing that I cannot find you that's vegan.
Okay.
I got you. We're gonna go on a tour. Let's do it. You tell me your 5 favorites, and I'll find you the best 5.
I'm about to text you as soon as we leave here.
I'm serious. I will find you the best.
But can you find this?
Watch.
Well, I'm excited. I'm so glad that you just took the time to sit with me.
You came. This is great.
Yeah, this is really good. I learned. Did y'all learn some things too? This is good. She's so amazing.
Oh, thanks.
And if you're on Facebook also, right?
Yes, it's actually on Facebook. It's becoming veganISH.
Okay.
So it's the same post. Okay. So follow me on either one or both. And I try to post daily different things about your body and what it affects. Everything from depression, your skin, everything. Because food affects everything, especially with children. I try to get kids.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak at a lot of schools, and I get the kids. Kids are actually easier to turn vegan than adults.
Oh, yeah.
A lot easier.
My daughter, like last year, she was just like, I am not. There are certain places that she doesn't want to eat anymore. And she has made that decision and been so consistent. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not eating it. And I'm like, all right. All you need is a job and we are good to go. You could really be grown. So I do. I love it. And you're right. You can teach them, well, we're set in our ways and we're just like, no, ain't going to happen. Yeah.
I think that you can do it. So now you have to do a month.
Okay, I'm going to do a month.
Let's commit
30 days.
Y'all hear this?
When are we going to start? Next month?
What's the day? No.
Oh, we're starting Monday?
So you can get meals. Look, we're starting Monday.
Okay. All right.
Because, listen, if you order from veganISH.com, beveganish.com, you can get your meals delivered to you on Sundays.
Oh, on Sundays. So you start the whole, That's good.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start.
And I'll even do a class.
Monday.
We can come to your house and I'll show you how to actually
What?
make things. Yes. This is the whole thing.
I didn't know that.
I can teach you. I can come
That's
and give you a
what people
class.
need is they need to be taught.
And we do the grocery store tours.
Oh,
So I
that's
take
helpful.
you grocery shopping for 2 hours, and we actually go through the aisles.
I feel like that's gonna hurt my feelings. I feel like you're gonna
No,
come
that's the
through.
point. That's
like
the
you're
point.
gonna be like,
That is the
this
complete
really,
point. And then we'll
I
do
know.
a pantry clean out. You'll love
Oh,
that.
that,
You'll love
all
that.
I have
I'm gonna
is
throw away.
pepper.
In your refrigerator, what's in there?
Right now, nothing at all. So there's condiments, mustard, and and some bottled water. So we could start from scratch. We're good. We're good to go.
So we're gonna start Monday.
Okay. All right. So we're starting on Monday.
So what's the 30 days? What's the end day? Can someone look?
Oh, there's so much pressure right now.
Look, you can look at all these people.
Yeah, they're like, and February 10th.
February 10th.
Okay.
Okay. So
All
right
right.
before Valentine's Day. Okay. You ready?
Is anybody else gonna volunteer to come with me? No? Okay. All right. Good.
A lot of these
Y'all ain't
people,
right.
I'm telling you, a lot of these people already ordered from me.
Okay.
Uh,
And I'm gonna do the whole thing, but all right. I'm gonna do it.
You're worried? What's your biggest fear?
It's gonna,
No, let's be transparent. Let's see what it is.
it's just like time. That's it. Like
But-
the biggest thing for me is just time. But I guess
if I'm providing the food, then that
then
cuts
there's
the
no
time.
excuse.
Then what's
Yeah.
Then what?
And you told me it's gonna taste good, so I believe you. I don't drink anything but water and tea. Ain't no
got
tea
it.
that's bad, is it? You gonna tell me there's some tea that's bad?
Are you drinking sweet tea?
No, I don't drink
Like
sweet
hot tea?
Yeah, hot tea.
Oh, you're fine. That's fine.
All right, y'all. So y'all gonna support me? Y'all gonna cheer me on?
I'm so excited. And then you'll come back after the 30 days to my podcast, and we'll talk about the results of how it went.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm getting my mind together. Let me pray. Maybe she didn't give me a chance to pray about it. She was like, "No, we're gonna start Monday." All right, y'all. Give it up one time for LaTara Jeffers. Be veganISH. Y'all make sure that y'all follow her, and you can also follow Respect My Crown Official on Instagram as well to learn a little bit about what we are doing for women in our community.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.